Hi, guys. Welcome to Disrupt Your Norm. My name is Naomi Dunn, and I am an inner work coach. And this is Disrupt Your Norm, where I help you disrupt your current norm for a better norm. So I'm back again in my car with my mini microphone. The reason I'm doing this is because I realized that if I don't film the moment I get the idea for a video, the video tends to be a little less flowy than I would like it to be. And um just not flow in the way I would like it and prefer when I force myself to do it later on rather than in the moment that the idea comes to me. So today's video is I believe I'm going to title it Personal Development is Pointless Unless You Understand These Things. So I've been obsessively learning about personal development for about 8 years. Now, personal development, when you go down that path, can be a very addictive path to go down. Not only because it validates a lot of our beliefs, sometimes if you are in victimhood, it validates the idea that you are a victim, but also because seeing changes can be a really exciting thing. Seeing changes you never thought were possible for you can be really exciting. But we cannot see changes no matter how much we study if we don't understand these three things I'm about to tell you. So, like I said, I've obsessively studied personal development for about 8 years. And it wasn't until year 4 that I actually started seeing changes, that I actually started seeing shifts in my life. Before that, I was just learning. And the thing with learning is knowledge is not powerful. You may hear all the time that knowledge is powerful, knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is not powerful. Knowledge is powerful when it's applied. I did not apply what I was learning. So that's number one is application. So, like I said, some people are addicted to personal development because they are addicted to being a victim. And if you are addicted to being a victim, your initial response will be no, that's not me. Because people who are addicted to be victims don't actually recognize it in themselves because the ego is the cause of this addiction to victimhood. And the ego wants to hold on to that current identity that it has, which is being a victim. So it will push away any idea that comes of you possibly being a victim. So, if your initial response is, no, I'm not addicted to victimhood, then I have a few questions to ask yourself, that for you to ask yourself to know whether this is true or not. Because whether in your brain you say, yes, I'm a victim, or no, I'm not, it may or may not be true for you. So, the first question I have is, when you learn about your traumas, when you receive validation for your traumas, do you deep down feel a sense of relief, a sense of joy, possibly a sense of peace? And I know that sounds very ironic to feel a positive emotion when it comes to such a negative thing such as trauma, but those who are really living through their ego and living through victimhood will feel a good emotion when their trauma is validated because they want to hold on to the fact that they have trauma and that they are a victim. Okay, and number two, do you find yourself repeatedly speaking about your traumas, repeatedly bringing it up in conversation, finding ways to slide it into conversations so that your trauma can be acknowledged? And if that's the case and you're not actually doing anything to remove it, then yes, you are addicted to being a victim. I have to say it for what it is. And the thing is when we are in that state of mind, when we are allowing the ego to take control and staying in the state of addiction to victimhood, you will not change because you deep down don't want to change, because you are living from your ego. Like I said, and the ego does not want you to change because it wants to stay in the identity of being a victim. So that needs to be said first and foremost, because unless that's taken care of, then we cannot go to step B, step C. We cannot make progression, because no matter how much progression you try to make, if you love being a victim, if you love your trauma, if you love the fact that you have a reason to have a pity party, if you love the fact that you can make other people cry or you can feel bad for yourself, then you'll always stay in situations that solidify that belief and that desire in yourself. And the way to remove this is to say no to the ego and say, I, like, be honest with yourself. I'm addicted to being a victim, and have that awareness so that when it comes up, you just say, not today. Because to be honest, the biggest part of change, the biggest part of growth is simply awareness, but the ability to acknowledge that awareness, to actually own up to it, and to let your ego go and be like, yes, this is me. I am addicted to being a victim. And the second you can say, yes, this is me, is the same second you have the ability to shut it down each and every time it comes up. Okay. That's harsh, and that's not pretty. That's not that doesn't feel good to hear for the average person, but that's the thing with personal development. You have to go through some pain to get to some beauty. It requires it, but it is always worth it in the end. Okay, so application is number 1. We have to apply what we are learning. We can't just learn and learn and learn and learn and learn without actually applying it, because you're getting nowhere. Say you walk around saying, I want to own a pink shirt. So what you do is you observe everyone who has pink shirts. You study pink shirts. You go and read books on pink shirts, as if there actually was that. You read articles on pink shirts. You look at Pinterest boards of pink shirts. But until you actually decide to go to the store and buy the pink shirt, you will never have the pink shirt. So this is what I mean by application. We can learn, but the knowledge is not doing anything for you. Knowledge applied is what actually creates the shifts. Okay, number 2 is embodiment. What is embodiment? Embodying something is different to having something as a habit. A habit is deciding, I'm going to start going to the gym. Is this a good example? No, I'm going to change this. I'm going to give an example of embodiment instead. Embodiment is the fact that you wake up and you brush your teeth, and you know every day you brush your teeth. You don't have to think about it. It's in your it's in your body, and it's in your mind. You know, you go to the bathroom and you brush your teeth. Do you consciously decide, oh yes, I have to brush my teeth, should I, shouldn't? No, you just do it. It's a habit that you live and breathe, because you don't even have to think about it. It has been embodied in your mind and your body. It's something you don't think about. It's just what you are. You've embodied the fact that you breathe daily. Okay, I have embodied the fact that I do inner work daily. I don't have to think about it. It's just something I do. I have embodied it. Okay, so this is the thing with personal development. After applying it, you want to embody it. And how do we embody something? We first shift our perspective on it. We shift our perspective enough to look at the thing that we want to embody, and we have the perspective of, this is immensely important. See, the reason you brush your teeth every day is because you know without fail, you don't have to question it in your mind, that it's an important thing for you to do. Brushing your teeth is important so that you don't lose your teeth later on in life. No one has to debate that. Everyone just embodies that for the most part, of course. So when you see something in personal development that your soul lights up to, when you get excited when you hear it and you're like, this is something I should do, always pay attention to that, because your body might light up to that, but the next person doesn't. And the reason it lights up for you is because you know deep down that you need this, and it will change your life. We intuitively always know what is good for us and what is not. And so if you get this burning desire to start embodying a new habit, maybe it's journaling every day, maybe it's tapping, maybe it's sitting down and becoming more aware of your thoughts daily, whatever it may be for you, when you embody this, then that's when changes start to happen, because you are doing it without even thinking. Why? Because your perspective is, this is immensely important for me to do. And maybe initially you have to remind yourself of the reasons. Maybe it's for the purpose of healing trauma, for the purpose of being a better mother, and then being a better partner, or whatever it may be. Whatever the reason is, you may have to remind yourself until one day you don't. We had to be reminded as children why we need to brush our teeth, for the cleanliness of our teeth, but then eventually we stopped. We didn't need to be reminded anymore. So that's embodiment. All right, number 3, extraction. Extraction is huge for personal development. So say you want to paint this beautiful painting, but you have a canvas and the canvas has mud all over it, okay? So the mud can be represented as our traumas, the mud can be represented as our limiting beliefs, the mud can be represented as the stored emotions, okay? So if we want to paint a beautiful blue sky, but we have mud on this canvas, it's going to be difficult because the mud is going to mix with the blue and it's not going to be the blue sky that we want it to be. What do we have to do? We have to clean it and remove the mud. So when we try to bypass and get to a certain place without getting rid of the mud, without getting rid of the stored emotions, the stored traumas, the limiting beliefs, the incorrect perspectives we have, when we try to bypass it and skip it and say, you know what, I'm going to be completely calm all the time and have the most healthy nervous system ever without doing any of the work, without removing any of those things, then we're bypassing and we're almost cheating. And what will happen is you may feel the growth, you may temporarily feel better, but you will go back to how it was because we didn't extract the things that caused the issue in the first place. So this is why it's important to, have the knowledge of what could create the issue. What could create the issue of my dysregulated nervous system? What could create the issue of me continuously lashing out on my partner when I don't want to, which is, heads up, that's a nervous system issue. What could create the idea, or what could create the possibility of me always failing at this thing even though I always say I want to do it and I try to do it and then I fail? Like, this is where the knowledge is really great to have. The studying, the books, the videos, the podcasts, it's so great to have, because once you have the knowledge, then it's okay. Step B, how do I remove that? Not, okay, I don't learn any of it, don't apply any of it, I'm just going to be it now. That's bypassing, that's cheating, and it's not going to get you the results you want. How can I apply this knowledge and remove it? And this is where inner work healing comes in, and this is what my main focus is because I don't want any of you guys to try to bypass your way to getting the thing that you want, because you won't get the results that you want. It results in the life that you want to have, the more peaceful life and the more joyful relationships and all of those things, when we do the work, when we apply, and when we extract what's there. So yes, these are the three things that you have to become aware of, or else all the learning that you're doing when it comes to personal development will be pointless. And there's no point in wasting your precious time that we have on earth, because there is not that much time, just learning instead of applying, because the application is what's truly going to reap the beautiful things that can come in your life. So, yes. I really hope that helped you. And I did say prior, awareness is enough to change. And awareness can be a form of extraction. Awareness can be a form of application. But the application in it is the shift in perspective, that alone. And you'll see it. Like, you'll see in your life, okay, was this awareness enough to change? How do I know? You see the change, and you see the change consistently. If the awareness is there and you only temporarily see the change, or the change minimizes or goes away, that's how you know there is more extraction to take place. And that's, you'll see it through your life. You'll see it through what's happening in front of you. Okay, I'm really warm now. I need to turn the air on in my car. I did not want it to mess up the audio, so yep, I'm nice and shiny now. I am definitely glowing. All right, well, I hope this video helped you. I wish I had heard this 8 years ago. So if you're just starting a personal development journey, then this is fantastic news that you are hearing this now, because it will completely shift the journey that you have ahead of you. So yeah, I hope that helped. If you would like any more information on myself and what I do, my website will be linked below in the description. And I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.